Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, and welcome to the Midweek Push. I'm so glad to see all of you coming in the room. Come on, let's tag somebody. Let's invite somebody. Welcome. This is the place where everyday living meets spiritual insight, and I'm so glad that you all are joining me. There are 12 of us on, but we know we can do much better than that. And so I want you to go ahead and share it. It's saying can't post to some destinations. Okay, I don't think that's for me. I want to make sure your comments are coming up. Good afternoon, Cece, Pastor Darrell Roberts, Shanae. Good afternoon to you, Yvonne Burrows. Good afternoon to you, Overseer Naya and Lakia. Good afternoon to you, Walter Young. Good afternoon, Angel Morris. Good afternoon. Y'all go ahead and check out Angel's Restaurant. Angel, I'm making my way over there very, very soon. Conchita Bradley, Elder Conchita Bradley, Tamara, good afternoon to you. Thank you. Come on, let's like, let's tag, let's share with someone. Dana Hutchins, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to you. And welcome. If this is your first time, Joelle Snipe, good afternoon. Joining us. This is the place where everyday living meets spiritual insight and the kingdom and the marketplace collide. And I'm so excited about what we're going to talk about today. Today is going to be good. I am trying to bring my mind in and wrap my mind around everything that I want to share with you today. So hopefully it doesn't come out flustered and all over the place, but you'll get an understanding, because today we're going to talk about a wealth mentality, and you need to tag somebody. Yvette Artist, Aunt Monique, so glad to see you. Yes, Overseer MWP Tribe is in the building. Yvette Artist, Monique, so glad to see you this afternoon. If you know somebody who is in any of these categories, you need to tag them right now. If there is anyone in your life who you want to see prosper financially, you need to tag them. If there's someone who you want to see them thrive in business, you need to tag them. If there's somebody who you know who has a creative or innovative mindset, you need to tag them. If there's somebody who has a skill set, you need to tag them. If there's somebody who is around you who's always talking about how broke they are, you need to tag them right now. You need to tag them. So I pretty much named anyone who really is in your life, whether they are creative, whether you want to see them prosper, whether they're always talking about what they don't have enough for, why they can't do it. Okay, you always got to lend them money, whatever. Okay, just tag everybody. And we're going to talk today. And again, I'm going to apologize now, because usually I'm a little more polished, but sometimes those of you that are creative will know when you start getting all kinds of ideas, it just all runs together. And we're going to pray that some kind of way we get something out of this. But today I'm going to change your mindset. It is my goal for many of you to change your mindset and how you look at money. Okay. So before we do that, again, all of my veteran MWP tribe members, if you've been on the midweek push more than 4 times, if you've been on for more than a month, I want you right now in the comments to welcome our family, welcome our visitors, welcome our guests. Just put in there, welcome to the MWP tribe. This is the place where everyday living meets spiritual insight. And we can we run the gamut here in regards to topics. We talked about toxic people. 2 weeks before that, we were all in tears. Today, we're going to get some financial insight as it relates to wealth and our mindset to be able to live the life that we want to live in a place where it does not necessarily matter the resources we have, but how we look at what we have. I'm talking good already. It doesn't matter the resources we have, but how we look at what we have. And so we're going to talk through that today. But you know that we always, and Carly, if you're not delayed, see if you can put up the declaration for me. We believe in decreeing and declaring here. 31 of us are on right now on Facebook and YouTube. You have time to share that link, invite somebody to join us. And we believe in decreeing and declaring here at the midweek push. And so I'm sorry, Carly, that was my fault. Go back to it again. And so before we start talking about any of our topics, we do our midweek declaration. And this is that juice. This is that energy we need to keep on going for the rest of this week. Sakithia, so glad to see you. Let's work. Let's work. Let's work. Let's work. All right. Midweek declaration says this. We're going to read it on 3. The power of this is what? Not just you reading it and looking at it, but you speaking it out loud. So if you're in the break room at work, if you're in your bedroom, if you're in your office, if you're in your car, wherever you are right now, when I count to 3, you're going to read this with power and clarity along with me. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I am a creative being created by the creator of creativity. I possess the skills, tools, and resources to manifest every God-ordained purpose and assignment in my life. I flow in prophetic innovation that allows me to create what has not been seen and do what has not been done. Heaven comes into agreement with me for all I put my mind to. Thank you, Lord, for backing me in all areas of my life. Come on, give the Lord praise. All right. Thank you, Carly. All right, so we're going to get into it today. And I'm excited to talk through this. And as we always say, this is not a monologue. This is a dialogue. So you all in the comments, Dr. Eric Holmes, Minister Javon, Lakeisha, thank you all for tuning in today. Kathleen Kim Moore. So listen, you still have time to invite somebody. Invite somebody to join us today. All right. So we're going to talk through today developing a wealth mentality, And let me just make sure I got everything set up here really quick. Okay. And I believe this is so important because one thing that I have realized, especially when it comes to the kingdom, when it comes to church, is that oftentimes we are afraid to talk about money. We are afraid to talk about it. Those of us who've been in church, we know that one of the most awkward moments in the service, for whatever reason, for the majority of people, not those of us that have a different mindset, is the offering. We know that it becomes very taboo to have conversations about money with others, right? And so for me, there is a bit of dysfunction in that because what we talk about will be attracted to us the most. And when we understand how to talk about finances and money, then we will understand how to be attractive to it. Okay, so I'm already giving principles. I was going to do a lot of different slides. I have about 3 today, but a lot of what I'm going to say to you is just going to be nuggets that you're going to have to write down. So hopefully you have a notebook or you have a pen, right? And so I want to talk about this today because even when we talk about a wealth mindset, wealth is not only directed to the amount of money that you have, right? It is directed to wealth in all areas of your life. So a wealth mentality includes your economy and your income, but it also includes your state of being. It also includes how you develop or manage your life, right? And so I believe that wealth is not just a class, but it is a mindset. And I say that because there are many individuals who may not live in the largest home, may not drive the fanciest car, but they have a wealth mentality where they have the ability to make the best of whatever they have. If anybody is on here who agrees with me on that, put it in the comments, right? And so wealth relates to prosperity, and let me just lay this foundation real quick. They are almost, they're not synonymous, but they work hand in hand when it comes to wealth and prosperity, right? So one of the things that we see in the book of I believe it's Third John, Third John chapter 2. It opens and it's a letter, right? And a lot of times we quote this scripture and we think that Jesus said this. So we'll say, Jesus said, or the Lord says, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in good health, right? But when we look at that, we understand that the evangelist John writes that as an opening to his letter in that chapter. And so even looking at that, though, we can surmise that that is also the will of God for us, is to prosper and be in good health. Watch this. He says, even as our soul prospers, which lets us know that prosperity is not just connected to what we have in the bank. Prosperity is connected to every area of our life. And when we change how we look at prosperity, then we'll be able to, watch this, bring an even kill to all of the areas of our life that we want to see thrive and we want to see flourish. And when we talk about that, there are three things that we have to specifically do. We have to think ourselves prosperous, we have to position ourselves prosperous, and we have to give ourselves prosperous. Let me say that again. We have to think ourselves prosperous, we have to position ourselves prosperous, and we have to give ourselves prosperous. So what I want to talk about is I want to talk about the mindset, because I believe, and again, as I said, we run the gamut here. So today's going to be very informational and insight. I'm not going to pull on your emotions a lot, but I want to pull on your intuition, your intuitiveness rather, and your ability to see your life differently. Okay. And we're going to use a scripture today because I believe that wealth is in the fine print. And opportunity is in the fine print. I want you to write that down. I'm going to come back to that in a minute. I got all kinds. I got notes on my phone. I got notes on paper. I got notes everywhere. So y'all pray Pastor through and let me try to put this together. Yes, you've got to think yourself prosperous. You've got to position yourself prosperous, and you've got to give yourself prosperous. If you let me lay foundation, I promise you there's going to be some things in here that you're going to take away, and we're going to make this a two-part. Okay. All right. So wealth is a mindset. I want you to write that down. Wealth is a mindset. Wealth is not how much you have in the bank. I got to break down some of these misnomers that we have. Wealth is not how much you have in the bank. It is not how many properties you have. Wealth is a mindset before it is anything else. And when we begin to understand that, we will begin to realize that our prosperity starts in our mind. Our prosperity starts in our mind. And the reason that many of us are in a state where we cannot see the monetization of all areas of our life is because our mindset is wrong as it relates to wealth. And so we are looking at what is in front of us, and based upon how the world has taught us and the world has positioned us, we don't see ourselves wealthy. All right. So I want to change how you look at that a bit, and I want to look at some definitions real quick: a mindset, a wealth mindset, and a poverty mindset. Now, Hope City, and I'm going to talk about it today. Hope City knows that I teach a concept that I call the river of prosperity. Write that down. We'll get back into it. Right now, I'm kind of giving you a lot of little bullet points, but we're going to go into all of them. The river of prosperity. This is a formula that I use, that I teach entrepreneurs, that I teach business owners, that I teach my church in regards to giving. And let me tell you, not to brag or boast, but because of this teaching, we have a ministry who has never wanted for anything. We don't have the largest church in the city. We don't have all of the accoutrements and all of that. But what we do have is a clear understanding of stewardship and mindset. And because of that, we have been able to be in an extremely comfortable place as a ministry in less than 5 years of inception or conception. Okay. And this is because of much of the teaching that we do on the mindset of wealth and understanding what is the river of prosperity. Come on, Hope City. I need some of y'all in the comments to shout back at your pastor. The river of prosperity is a concept that I teach that says, I ask, I receive, I give, I use, and then I give. I ask, I receive, I use, and then I give. And the reason that many of us cannot see a consistent flow of wealth and finances and prosperity in our life is because our river is backed up. God have mercy. Because we've mastered the asking, we've mastered the receiving, we've mastered the using, but we have not mastered the principle of stewardship. And if you want to keep the river of prosperity in your life, you have to understand the concept of stewardship. Stewardship is the management of a thing. And part of that management is not just how you manage your finances in the bank or your business, but it's how you manage your thoughts, because wealth begins in the mind. I want you to say that. Wealth begins in the mind. That, how do we know that? Because we've seen many individuals who win the lottery, who come into money through fame or through whatever it is, and within a short period of time, they have squandered what they have gotten. Why? Not because they didn't have the resource. Talk, Pastor. Not because they didn't have the resource, but because they did not have the mindset. So if you pray for money and for increase and for wealth, but you don't pray for the mind to steward it, then you're never going to see that. The truth is that do y'all see how I start getting excited? I gotta calm down. The truth is that many of you have already been millionaires. You've already been a millionaire. If you look at the amount of money that you've gained, that you've received throughout the years, you will realize that some of you have been a millionaire 3 and 4 times over. But the reason you don't see that is because of how we've been conditioned to look at our wealth. And because of that conditioning, we've squandered a seed that we were really meant to steward in a better way. Okay, are y'all with me? So I want to help you break this down, because I believe for many of you, we've been talking about mentally or spiritually, but I believe that even in your economy is getting ready to go to a different level. Watch this, not because you're going to have more, but you're going to look at what you have differently, and it's going to begin to work for you. Somebody just put, what I have is going to work for me. I want you to put that. What I have is going to work for me. I'm reminded, I preached a sermon called You Can Live on What's Left about Obadiah. I believe it was Obadiah's wife. When he passed, she had to pay creditors, and they were coming looking for her, and they were going to take her and her son into captivity in order to pay for what they owed. But the prophet came and he said to her, what's in your house? What's in your house? And he was able to show her that if you just change how you look at what you have, you will realize that you already have enough to get the job done. Come on here, somebody. And this is where I want to help you, because many of you are frustrated because you're praying for new resources, you're praying for additional income, and God is trying to show you that what you need that's going to change your economics in your life is already inside of you. You've just got to change how you look at it. Hey, come on here. Let's have class today. All right, so let's look at 3 things real quick. A mindset, a wealth mindset, and a poverty mindset. I'm so glad to hear that, Victoria. A mindset, a wealth mindset, and a poverty mindset. A mindset in general is a lens through which you view the world. Like a pair of sunglasses, it can slightly alter what you see and how you think about it. So this is important, because this is how we understand that all of us don't always have the same mindset. Now, I've got to talk about that, because for many of you, you are surrounded by people who don't have the same mindset. And when you are surrounded with people that don't have the same mindset as you, your economy will be frustrated. I need you to hear that. Your economy will be frustrated. Put a marker there. I'm going to come back to that in a minute. Okay. A wealth mindset is a set of beliefs, habits, and behaviors that separates the wealthy from the rest. A wealth mindset will guide you to make the most, here it is, of the money you have. Hear that. A poverty mindset is any of the following: thinking that earning money is wrong, that it can be done without effort, that you'll never climb out of the pit of debt, or that you just don't have the special sauce it takes to increase your cash flow. Hear that. A poverty mindset is any of the following: thinking that earning money is wrong, that it can be done without effort, that you'll never climb out of the pit of debt, or that you don't have the special sauce it takes to increase your cash flow. I'm going to put it up one more time. Take a screenshot of that and save this, because for many of you, the issue is not the money, it's your mindset. Hear that. Hear that. The issue is not your money, it is your mindset. And when you can begin to change how you look at things, then you're going to realize that you have more capacity and ability in you than you really look at. All right, so let me look at some of the things I have here. And so there must be an economic structure in your life. There must be an economic structure. And that structure first starts with your support system. I want to say this: a poverty mindset is contagious. A poverty mindset is contagious. And you've got to be very careful in this season who you surround yourself with. Brandon says we're already fancy. It starts with our mindset. Yes, indeed. You've got to be very careful, because if you are not, you are going to subconsciously develop the mentality of those you surround yourself with. I believe that we all are the sum total of the 5 people we surround ourselves with. Hear what I'm saying. We are the sum total of the 5 people we surround ourselves with. My question for you is, what is the mindset of the people you are surrounding yourself with? I can remember in times past, I've been an entrepreneur now for 15 years. Actually maybe closer to 20, about 14 of them full time. And I can remember moments where it seemed like my economy or my economic structure in my life was struggling. And what I realized is that it was in the place it was, not necessarily because I wasn't making good money or because I didn't have a plan, but because, watch this, of the mentality that was around me, that there were people around me who were not good stewards of their money, who always were talking about how broke they were and didn't have enough. And that spirit began to attach itself to my economy. Now, I need you to hear what I just said, and we're going to go further. I need you to hear what I just said, because here is what I know for sure: that poverty is a spirit. Hear what I'm saying to you. Poverty is a spirit because it is counteractive to the will of God for our lives. How do we know that it is counteractive? Because when we begin to look at the book of Genesis, the first thing that God says to man, he says, I have given you dominion. I have given you dominion to plant, to subdue, to have a dominion over the things in the air, the things in the sea. So we understand that when God put us on this earth, he put us in a place where we would never have to want for anything. Hear what I'm saying to you. We would never have to want for anything. He gave us, Lady Charity, I'm so glad to see you. He gave us dominion, which means that when he gave us dominion, he gave us legal authority to allocate wealth. Hear what I'm saying? He gave us legal authority to allocate wealth, but through the progression of life and through sin nature and things that we as men and women allowed to enter into the earth realm, the spirit of poverty began to develop. And so poverty is a spirit. I need you to write that down. Poverty is a spirit. It is sometimes a spirit that comes through generations. So sometimes there will be a family who the spirit of poverty lingers over that family. So the mother always was in need. The daughter was always in need. The son always needed something. The grandchildren. So it's a spirit that can come through generations, or it can come, watch this, through a mindset that has not been changed, transitioned, or educated to understand the legal authority that we have on this earth realm. How do we know that we have legal authority even in the areas of wealth? Because what does the Bible tell us? It says we can speak those things that are not as though they were, and we can see the manifestation of them. Now, let me go back to what I was saying in regards to the people you have around you. Many of you, you are planting good seeds, you are in a good field, but you have corrupted fruit around you that is tainting your seed. Hear what I'm saying to you. So you have got to, one, before you even begin in yourself, you've got to assess who is around me that operates in a spirit of poverty. What is the spirit of poverty? They're always talking about how broke they are. They never have enough. They don't tithe. They're not good stewards. They squander their seed. That spirit becomes contagious. Hear what I'm saying to you. I know we ain't gonna cry today, but we're gonna get free. Because here's what I said, and I hope you all remember what I said to you last week, I believe it was. We are no longer shouting about how God paid the rent on the last day. We are no longer shouting on how we were about to get our car repossessed and something happened in the last minute. It is almost an indictment to God that we are more excited about the fact that something happened in the last moment than the fact that we have positioned ourselves in a way where we never want for anything. Somebody just put in the comments, we're not shouting about that. Because we're going to change our mindset and our way of thinking. All right. So let me see where I want to go. Let me read this to you. Read this to you from my notes. If you want to foster a wealth mentality, there are some things you need to do. I know I'm all over the place today, y'all. Hopefully you're getting this. Next week, I'll have some bullet points for you. No, we're not shouting about that anymore. No. We're going to shout about the fact that we've got stocks and bonds and that our children's children are set up for the rest of their life. I believe that the way God's getting ready to position many of us, there's going to be generations who don't know our name, but are set off of our wealth. Y'all don't hear what I'm saying to you. They may not know our names, but there's going to be generational wealth that comes. And somebody just put in the comments, it's never too late. Okay. If you want to foster a wealth mindset, you need to minimize time wasting activities. Okay. So many of us fostering this wealth mindset means that there's going to be some sacrifices that have to occur in our life. Not only are there sacrifices, but we've got to be okay with acknowledging where we are. All right. Now I'm going to switch realms a little bit. I'm going to switch realms. That was so deep. I'm going to switch gears just a little bit. One of the questions I get is, how, Pastor Cam, how are you able to live the life you desire as a full-time entrepreneur? I'll tell you this, for those of you who are also entrepreneurs, one, it's not for the faint of heart. It's not for the faint of heart. There were a lot of sacrifices that I had to and have to make. There are certain things that I can't do, but it's worth it. And no, I'm not going to say that because that's going to sound petty. All right. So, but one of the things I understand is that my ability to see what I have differently allows me to sustain a life that I am happy with. Hear that, make that as a declaration. My ability to see what I have differently allows me to sustain a life that I am happy with. Okay? I need you all to hear that. Why am I saying that? Because for many of you, you're looking at what you have from the wrong lens. Yes, Lady Charity. Pastor Chaz, your husband, is a great example of that. I am able to look at what I have and monetize it on greater scale. See, many of you, what you have, you don't even realize is the key to your financial freedom. Whew, Lord have mercy. Next week, I'm going to have to really kind of dig into this. I'm only going to be able to lay foundation today because I can tell I'm going too fast and there's a lot more I want to say. So we're going to have to do another week of this, okay? Your ability to look at what is inside of you is going to change your life for the rest of your life. Let's go back to that story, because when we look at the story of the woman, right, the prophet comes to her. He says, "What's in your house?" She says, "All I have is a little oil." Right there, we see that her mindset is what caused her to be in lack. Hear what I'm saying? Her mindset is what caused her to be in lack, because she didn't realize that what she had was enough. I want you to put in the comments, what I have is enough. What I have is enough. Come on, put that in the comments. What I have is enough. I love that, Nate, Pastor Nate. I'm breaking poverty off of me and my bloodline. What I have is enough. In the end of that story, what does he say to her? The Bible says that the little oil she has fills up all of the jars. And the prophet says to her, now you and your son can live on what's left, which means that what she had the whole time was enough not to just sustain her for a week, not to sustain her for a month, but for the rest of her life. I'm prophesying to 15 of you who are on here right now, 20 of you, if you really want to receive it, that what you have inside of you, God's not just going to make it last just for a week or a month, but it's going to set you up for the rest of your life. When you look at what you have differently, it's going to set you up for the rest of your life. And there are some of you right now who you're not able to enjoy all of life because you're living paycheck to paycheck. You're trying to pull from your savings to handle your checking. But God says that when you look at what you have differently, when you look at what you have differently, you're going to realize that there is something in you where your life will not be week to week, but it's going to set you up for the rest of your life. It's going to set you up for the rest of your life. So here's what I want to do. I want to give you a prime example of this. Lord, I'm going too fast, so give me another week or two to really open this up. Here's what I want to do. I want to look at this scripture and I want to show you how the way you look at things is going to change the rest of your life. Yes, Nicole, I love that. Speak to yourself. Change how you look at things. Psalm 46:4 says, there is a river whose streams make glad the city of God, the holy place where the Most High dwells. Flip the track, man, and rewind it back. He says, there is a river whose streams make glad the city of God, the holy place where the Most High dwells. One more time for the people in the back. He says, there is a river whose streams make glad the city of God, the holy place where the Most High dwells. Now, this seems like a great psalm. It seems like something to shout about, but it has so much revelation in it. Because when you look at this scripture from the lens of a wealth mentality, you realize that through revelation, this scripture is saying one thing to us: one river, multiple streams. Y'all, I need a click track at 164 beats per minute, and I need Ronique on the lead guitar because I feel like dancing. One river, multiple streams. I need at least 15 of y'all to holler back at me in the comments and say one river, but multiple streams. This is how God wants to set up your mindset as it relates to the gifts, the callings, the resources, the skills that are inside of you. Is that what he wants to do for those of you that will receive the prophetic word of the Lord? Is he wants to use that one river to create multiple streams. Lord, have mercy. That there is one thing inside of you, and it's the one thing that you're overlooking. It's the one thing you think doesn't mean anything that's going to create multiple streams in you. Come on here, Willie. Come on, Michelle. Come on, Kathleen. Come on, Carly. One river, but multiple streams that's going to set you up for the rest of your life. So my question for you is, what is your one river? I want you to ask yourself that. I want you to ask yourself that. 38 of you on right now. Ask yourself, what is my one river? What is the one thing that I'm bypassing and I'm looking over that could really be the key to my next level of wealth, my next level of increase, my next level of favor? What is the one thing that I don't realize that if I really dug my heels into it and monetized it, I don't care if it's making pop covers, I don't care if it's making mittens, whatever it is, what's the one thing in you that you have not fully maximized? You want to know what my secret is to success? Is that I look at every area of my life and try to determine, how can I monetize this? Now, those who have a poverty mindset are going to say, well, I don't want to just seem like I'm trying to get money from people. I don't want to see. And that's why you're broke now, because you're not understanding that wealth is a mindset, and that what has been put inside of you is a gift. That gift means that it's put inside of you so that you can begin to set yourself up in the life that you not only desire, but that you deserve. And it's the plan of the enemy to make us uncomfortable with what's inside of us so that we never utilize it to live the life we want to live. Lord, have mercy. I'm sorry, Daria, forgive me. But I'm trying to help some of you, because some of you are wondering why you're broke, why you don't have enough money, and you don't realize you've got so many gifts and callings inside of you, but your mindset is corrupt. Your mindset is corrupt. God said, I'm going to give this to you as a gift. And how many of you know it's the gift that keeps on giving? When you learn how to work the gift, it'll work for you. I'm talking good, and y'all not saying nothing to me. When you learn how to work the gift, it will work for you. I would be offended if I gave somebody a gift and all they did was put it under their bed and they never utilized it. I'm so glad to see my son, Overseer Justice, from our Hope City, Kenya location in Africa. So glad to see you on, son. I would be offended. And so many of us, we don't even realize that we're offending God by not using what he put inside of us. And if we used it properly and we put all we had into it, we would realize it would set us up for the rest of our life. So we've got to look at that again. What is it? One river, but multiple streams. There are multiple streams that are going to come from the one gift that is inside of you. Hear what I'm saying to you. There are multiple streams when you work that gift, when you work that boutique, when you work that motivational speaking, when you work that book, right? And so how do we look at that? For example, now I'm going in to some of my entrepreneurship training. But for some of you, you have a book. Maybe you've written a book and you've left it at just writing the book. But that book can become a class. That book can become online learning. That book can become a tour. That book can become a sermon series. You got to look at that one stream and maximize and monetize that to the greatest of your ability to create multiple streams of wealth. Because I don't know about y'all, but I'm at the place where I'm making money in my sleep. Y'all don't hear what I'm saying to me. I'm at the place where I'm making money in my sleep. Why? Because I've monetized every gift that is inside of me to create multiple streams. Hear what I'm saying to you? I'm glad I'm talking to you, Shania. Like I said, y'all know I'm a little more polished when we come on Midweek Push, but today was a bit overwhelming because a lot was just coming. So I'm kind of just talking as it comes, and hopefully you're getting something from this. Next week, I'll give you some points, okay? I hope you hear me. Thank you, Willie. I'm glad you hear me. Sarah, ain't nothing like the Cash App going off in your sleep. Why is that? Because watch this, I'm not afraid to talk about the gifts that are inside of me. I'm still talking about a wealth mentality. There's a lot more we got to get into. So I'm going to probably have to make this 1 or 2 more weeks because I want to talk about how you make yourself attractive to money. Do you not know that money can be attracted to you? But some of you, you're not attractive to money. Money is not attracted to you because you're not attractive enough for it. Okay, we'll talk about that next time. Okay, one river, multiple streams. But if you're going to get to that place, you've got to get to the place where you're not ashamed to talk about what's inside of you and what you do. Some of you, you only promote your business once or twice a week on Facebook. You're afraid to talk about it. You don't want to share with people what you do. You've got to get to the place where you understand that if I'm going to make this river work to the best of my ability, I've got to be open to talk about what it is I do, to promote it as much as I can, and watch the multiple streams develop. All right. Are y'all with me? Somebody put something in the comments. So let's rewind a little bit. So poverty, a poverty mindset is contagious. A poverty mindset is contagious. And at the root of it, I'm going backwards, but I'm going to come forward again. At the root of it, 41 of us are on Facebook and YouTube. Be sure to share and tag and like and invite somebody to join us. All right. Poverty is contagious. And when you surround yourself with people who have a poverty mindset, that spirit is going to seep into your economic infrastructure of your life. Carly says confirmation. Overseer says you help me daily, and today is no different. Talk well. Thank you, baby, because we're gonna live well. We're gonna live well. I already told Overseer we're going to live well. We're gonna go where we want to go, when we want to go, and live how we want to. And we're not going to dumb down how we live for the sake of the people. Y'all don't hear what I'm saying. Y'all don't hear. I'm getting ready to go into a whole other way. Can I just talk freely today, y'all? I promise next week I'll be a little more. But we're not going to dumb down our lifestyle for the sake of the people, because only people who have a poverty mindset look at those who thrive and believe in holding back their seed. Now, I can't really go all into that. That's probably more of a private teaching. But for those of you who are in ministry, you get what I'm saying. Right. And so a poverty mindset will say stuff like, well, I'm not giving to the church because look at what the pastor drives. Look at what the first lady wears. When we really understand seed, though, we understand that our giving is not predicated on where we necessarily want to surmise it's going to, but it's based upon our faithfulness in tithing and stewardship. We'll talk about that another time. All right. Makisha says this impartation is what I have been pouring into my children and speaking to myself. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So one river, multiple stream. We're talking about changing our mindset as it relates. Thank you, Lady Charity. I'm so sick of the people, not the people. Oh, that's not what I meant. I'm so sick of people who have a poverty mindset, because our seed is connected to our obedience in giving and a level of stewardship that is necessary in our lives. Okay. I think next week I want to talk about stewardship. And then the week after that, I'm going to talk about stewardship, and then I want to talk about how to be attractive to money. All right. Shania says, seed is the process of giving and expecting a return. Giving to God is an investment because he always returns, always. Come on and help me preach, daughter. Naya says, seed is connected to the obedience. Absolutely. All right. So we're changing our mindset. So what is changing our mindset look like? Changing our mindset means that we're going to look at what we have and honor it to the best of our ability. I want you to write that down as a declaration. I'm going to honor what I have to the best of my ability. See, the reason that some of us are not blessed the way we need to be blessed is because we don't honor what we already have, right? And so we're praying for God to bless us with a 5-bedroom home, but we can't even keep the apartment clean. I'm talking about a wealth mindset. We're praying for God to bless us with a brand new car, but we've got Cheetos and French fries on the back seat of the car we have now, right? Because this is just what it is. This is not what I'm going to have forever. But when you understand a wealth mindset, part of having a wealth mindset means that no matter what I have, I steward it to the best of my ability. Hear what I'm saying? I steward it to the best of my ability, because when God sees that I can honor this, he knows I can be trusted with that. I'm talking about wealth mentality. When he sees that I can be trusted with this, he knows that I can be He knows that when I can honor this, I can be trusted with that. I need you to hear what I'm saying. So for some of you, you're praying for certain things, but you're not going to get it because you're not even a good steward of what you have now, because that poverty mindset doesn't allow you to steward it to the best of your ability. I know that was a lot I just said, and some of it fumbled, but hopefully it made sense. All right. So that's a major part of changing your mindset, is how do you look at what you have now? How do you look at what you have now, and how do you honor it, and how do you steward it to the best of your ability so that you are deemed worthy enough to be trusted with the next thing? And here's something that becomes delusional that I want to break down in some of you is you say, well, when I get that, I'll manage it better. That is a poverty mindset. That is a poverty mindset. When I get that, I'll manage it better. No, you've got to get to the place where whatever you have, you manage it and you steward it to the best of your ability. Now, part of also understanding that mindset is a very hard concept that many don't understand, but is the truth, is that everything we have really is not ours. We are just stewards of it. Everything we have, we don't have full ownership of. We are just stewards of it. Everything we have comes from God. So I don't care if it's a busted hoopty with no hubcaps on it. It is an opportunity for you to manage what God has allowed you to have. So when you understand that I am not necessarily the full owner, I am just stewarding what God has allowed me to have, it's also going to change the way that you honor it. All right. Yes. Michelle says, Lord, help change my mindset, what I speak. And what I live by. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So you've got to, I like what Pastor Nate said, manage it well. You've got to manage it well. All right. Whew, man, this is so much to get out. I get really excited about this topic. So we're probably going to spend about two more weeks on this. So overall, Pastor, what are you saying today? Because this was a lot. It was a lot of different points. It was a lot of different things. What I'm saying to you is that your ability to be attractive to money, your ability to have a sustainable lifestyle that you enjoy is not connected to how much you allocate. It's not connected to how many things you have and how much of something you have. It's connected to your ability to manage and honor what you have from a place of a wealth mentality. Hear what I'm saying to you? And it's also connected to your ability to identify those around you who operate in the spirit of poverty, which is also a mindset. always talking about what they don't have, always don't have enough, can never do what they want to do, right? Always complaining. When you begin to assess these very minimal things that seem minimal in our life, we're going to realize that some of the wealth that we desire is just connected to changing our atmosphere and our way of thinking. All right. I hope you all are with me, and I hope this made some sense to you. So wealth is in the details. Wealth is in the details, and wealth is in the fine print. And when you adopt a wealth mentality, you have to be able to see opportunities even when they are not extremely evident. Hear what I'm saying? 50 of you are on wealth mentality, right? How to change our economy and our personal life. When you change to a wealth mentality, you have to be able to see opportunities even when they are not visibly present. And for many of you, your homework assignment until we come back together next week is going to be to assess your life, assess areas, opportunities, gifts, and callings that are inside of you that are going to change your personal economy and be able to not only set you up, but your children and your children's children for the rest of your life. I hope you all hear that. Many of you, there's some gifts, callings, ideas that are inside of you that you are not working to the best of your ability. I did a masterclass, and you all tell me in the comments if I should do it again. I did a masterclass called Exit Strategy. In that masterclass, I talked about how I was able to leave a very good full-time job in corporate America and banking and pursue entrepreneurship and be able to sustain that. And part of being able to do that was being unashamed to monetize everything that is inside of me. And when you get away from the fear of promoting what you do, talking about what you do, monetizing what you do, you're going to realize that some of the struggle that is in your life is avoidable when you get beyond that place of thinking. All right. Yes, masterclass exit strategy. Yes, Pastor Moore, I believe you were in that class. I'm gonna do that again. I also think I'm gonna do a creative content class again, how to create content. All right. So today, honestly, was really just an introduction. Next week, we'll kind of go into some step-by-steps. I really want to talk about how to be attractive to money. You've got to look like something that money wants to be in a relationship with. And I'm not just talking about physical. I am talking about that as well. But I'm talking about how you structure your life in general. And how many of you know you got to talk to your money? You got to talk to your money. One thing that we do, that's it, Shania. Money wants me. One thing that we do is at Hope City is we never give without putting a declaration. We give our money an assignment. We give our money as an assignment. And because we do that, we operate in the law of reciprocity, where that assignment is mandated to be fulfilled. And we are mandated to see a return on that, but it's also connected to proper stewardship. All right. And so even with the poverty mindset, a poverty mindset says, I can't give this because I don't know when I'll have it again. But a wealth mentality says, if I put a declaration on this and give in obedience and diligence, it is okay. I would love that, Willie. Sure. Absolutely. When we give from a wealth mentality, we realize that our seed is always mandated to find us. Somebody just put in the comments, my seed's going to find me. Just put in the comments. I'm so glad my sister, Pastor Natalia, that it blessed you. Just put in the comments, my seed is mandated to find me. It will always come back. I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor a seed begging for bread. It is mandated to find me. He says, according to Malachi, he says, prove me, which saith the Lord, will I not open up the windows of heaven, pour you out a blessing that you will not have room enough to receive. All right. So today is just introduction. And we're going to go a little further. Pastor First Lady Charity, I want to connect you and my fiance overseer Naya. I think you all would be very powerful doing something maybe together virtually in regards to women's empowerment and stuff. So I'm gonna send you both a group message, and please give Apostle Chaz my regards as well. So good seeing you on. Such a wonderful spirit. I told um, my fiance overseer Naya when I came back from visiting your church how you don't realize sometimes how just a small thing you do can really make a huge impact. And one of the most powerful moments for me of visiting TLC, the Life Church, was on Sunday morning when you came over and greeted me. It just spoke volumes. It spoke volumes. And I just want you to know that, be encouraged. God is doing great things for you all in that ministry. And I'm excited to see what God is doing. So we love you all so much. All right. All right. I love you, Midweek Push family. I know today was a little different. We didn't cry today, but hopefully we wrote some notes, and we're going to change our way of thinking because, our days are over of praying for God to come through in the last minute. He has already given us inside of us the tools, principles, and tactics to be able to create the life that we so desire. And when we get unafraid to talk about finances, to talk about money, when we get unafraid to promote and push what it is that's inside of us and what we do, some of you even need to increase how you talk about your business, talk about your organization. Even by statistic, this is one of the things I teach in my entrepreneurship classes. Only about 10 to 15% of your audience see what you push and what you post. So you've got to be unashamed with talking about what you do all the time, and watch how those streams begin to move and begin to blossom. Lady Simone, so glad to see you. We got all the first ladies on here today. So glad to see you. And I believe I saw Pastor Roberts on earlier. All right, Midweek Push family. Listen, if this was your first time joining us, we're here every Wednesday. It's the place where everyday living meets spiritual insight. And because we are a team, I don't want to leave without quickly promoting. Listen, let me say this, talking about it. It's not a ploy to do it, but it's a perfect opportunity to implement what we talked about. You can sow today if you want into this word, into this seed. And this seed, I guarantee you, is mandated to find you. Narissa Edwards, so glad to see you on. You can sow today, $Cam A Washington, $Cam A Washington. Let me show you how strong, two things I want to do. Let me show you how strong the spirit of poverty can come on you. Is that there have been many times, and many of you who go live probably struggle with it as well, where you've been afraid to give your Cash App or afraid to say that. I believe that is connected to a poverty mindset, and I believe people who are aggravated or frustrated by that operate in a spirit of poverty, because those of us who are kingdom investors, we're looking for opportunities to give. We are looking for opportunities to give, because the more opportunities I have to give, the more I know that there are seeds that are always coming to look for me. I believe that even some of the things that are manifesting in my life today are because the seeds that I sowed years ago that are coming to look for me. And so I want you all today, if you believe in the power of sowing, to sow. $Cam A Washington. You can sow a seed today. We normally sow in increments of 8, 8, 18, 28, if you so choose today. Listen, I want to promote something that Overseer has coming up. She is hosting a virtual women's empowerment summit. She is no novice in this area. Over the years, she has hosted prayer conferences and gatherings and different summits that have been extremely successful. So I want you to go and register Saturday, May 5th from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. virtually. So wherever you are in this world, you can attend. It is $18. I believe that registration, there's several individuals who I know personally have already registered, and you want to be a part of it as she celebrates Women's Empowerment Month. Go to nayasmall.com, and you can register for Resilience Defined Virtual Women's Empowerment Summit. All right. I love you all with the love of the Lord. Listen, please come back next week. Erica Lynn Cotton says she is signing up today. Please come back next week. I'm going to give you some tools and principles on how to be attractive to money, some things that you probably are just overlooking in your life that are going to change your economy for the good and ignite something in you that not only you, but generations that will come after you. So what's your assignment? What's your homework assignment? You're going to go today. You're going to go the rest of this week. You're going to look at some things that are inside of you, gifts, calling, skills that you have not completely monetized. that could be a part of the one river, which is you. You are the river. Somebody just put in the comments. Man, this is so hard. I'll be wanting to say this stuff on a Sunday morning, because if we were at Hope City, we go to dancing right off that. I am the river. Now I have to work my multiple streams. I want you to write that as a declaration. I am the river. Now I have to work my multiple streams. Out of me are going to come multiple. Yes, Lord. I am the river. I am. Yes, Lady Charity. I am the river. I am the river. Yes, Overseer. I am the river. Inside of me are multiple streams, multiple streams, multiple streams, multiple streams, multiple streams. So that book idea that I've been holding on to, that YouTube channel that I've been afraid to start, that jewelry that I just thought I just make on my own, you know, the apparel that I've had and I haven't worked yet, you know, whatever it is, multiple streams are inside of you. And there's an audience that's waiting to sow into what you have inside of you. But if you never do it, you'll never realize that that one stream was enough for you to live off of. Yes, indeed. Glory be to God. Glory be to God. All right. I love you all with the love of the Lord. I don't believe there is anything else for this week. Pray my strength and pray the strength of our ministry and those connected to us, all of our partners. We love you. Oh, listen, we're going to two things. If you ordered a book, so I don't think I'm a lying prophet. The books are in. Many of you who are waiting still, they went out in the mail this morning. We had to order more because you all purchased so many. And so they went out in the mail this morning. So if you're still waiting on your books, some of you got them. If you haven't gotten it, they went in the mail. So you should be receiving your book. Yes, Friday is game night. Our Dreamers Tribe at Hope City is hosting our first game night, and we want to see you all there. All right. I love you all with the love of the Lord. It's the Midweek Push. It's the place where everyday living meets spiritual insight. We're here every Wednesday at 12 noon. Don't forget that we've got Sunday service at Hope City. I am nervous to see what God is going to do this week. And then we'll be back Monday morning for prayer. All right. You all be blessed.